Welcome to Karibu Anawim's program, 15 Minutes at Dr. Zayli's Desk, where we explore topics related to living with a facial disfigurement. This program is for you, your loved ones, for educational purposes and professionals who would like to know more about living with facial disfigurement. Our presenters have lived experience, research background, or work with people living with facial disfigurement. It's important to begin the conversation with terminology that society understands and is clear. We use the word disfigurement as it is the medical and legal terminology. We recognise you may identify with other words such as visible difference or with your own diagnosis. Let's see where the conversation goes. So pull up a seat, grab a cuppa, and let's chat around the table with Karibu Anawim's 15 Minutes at Dr. Zayli's Desk.
Hi, I'm Dr. Zayli. I'm your host for today. Thank you very much for joining us. And just 1 minute, I've forgotten to pour myself a cuppa. I've got it brewing and I won't do it over the table. This is my grandfather's tea cozy and his teapot. And I'm having spearmint tea because it's good for the adrenals, supposedly. And I like it. I like the taste. So last week we chatted about April's topic, which was question and answer time for, what was it again? It was the, my mind is just taking a ride somewhere else. It's gone. But yes, last week we had, navigating relationships. That's what it was about. And so we had your wonderful we had lots of questions come in and I attempted to have a chat about them. This week or this month, the month of May, we're looking at all things about parenting. So this week in particular, we're looking at parenting living with a facial disfigurement. And hang on. There you go. I am going up to banners. And first of all, I'd like to say congratulations. Congratulations if you had a child or have chosen children. What a wonderful addition to life they are. Sometimes for better, and sometimes you wonder, but always is it for the better, always, even though sometimes we may not think so. And, they give a really good reflection of who we are and our good habits and our habits, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So with nothing else, we will chat. So the first thing that I would like to talk about today is it is important to understand that our children may experience what I call second gen discrimination, which I've written up in published academic papers. Just to put simply, second gen discrimination or second generation discrimination just means that they are discriminated against or bullied for or spoken ill of, all that, because of your appearance or because of our appearance. Now, this is not necessarily new, but I like to call it second gen discrimination or second generation discrimination because it can go on, it can go further. So, any excuse will do if the bully wants to choose to target your child, from being a carrot top, whether or not you've got freckles, whether or not she's flat-chested, whether or not he's scrawny, whether or not, it can be also the positive, too strong, too kind, to anything. And so too, your child might experience this. It's interesting to note that from the age of, off the top of my head, I think it's 2 or 3, remembering from the research, hopefully properly, children notice differences from the age of 3. You'll have all experienced, Mum, why is that lady fat, Mum? Or Dad, why has he only got one leg? Or something like this. I believe at this stage it's not malice, it's just noticing and pointing out differences, yeah? So, and this is also happening with our children. You know, we have had kids, you know, our kids come and say, "Mum, why is that woman girl in the wheelchair?" Or "Why does she look funny?" You know, and all that sort of stuff. So we've all had it, and we've all copped it, and our children will too, at some point, regardless of whether or not it's a little bit or whether or not it's a large scale. They will. So I've got a few tips for us to do, for us to work on. It's work on your own health. So if you're the parent, if you're the mum or the dad or partner or guardian, and you're living with a facial disfigurement and your child is non-facially disfigured, you know, work on your own health physically, you know, exercise, go and take the pram for a walk if that's the kind of space and place that you find yourself in the life cycle. For older, you know, for older kids, go riding together, go kayaking, or, you know, if money is an issue, you know, go to the local playground and kick a ball, or go to the local football oval and kick a soccer ball. It doesn't have to be fancy. Just work on your own health with them. So therefore you are modeling good behavior as well. Work on your own health emotionally. By that I mean acknowledge your feelings. You know, when you're tired and grumpy and angry or sad about the fact that they're getting picked on, you know, because of your face, and sometimes they won't even tell you whether or not they are, but they might come home grumpy or tired or angry or in not a good mood, for various, you know, for varying points of view. Really, it doesn't really matter what it is, but you know, if you can acknowledge your own feelings and model to them that it's okay to feel grumpy, but what you do with that grumpiness is how you model. So if you're you know, if you're going out of, you know, if you're speaking and yelling out of anger or frustration or something like that, you may need to say, hey, later on, hey, honey, I'm sorry that I yelled at you today. I've really had a bad day, or I really had, you know, X happen at work today, or I've really had this happen today and I took it out on you. I'm sorry for doing so. Will you forgive me? Because that is good modeling of just emotions. Anger is not a bad emotion if it's, you know, if it's used correctly. We all feel anger. It's just what we do with it and how we deal with it, or sadness. We have to work on our own health spiritually, because we're all spiritual beings, and we have to acknowledge this side of ourselves too. So for some that might be meditation, for some it might be prayer, for some it might be going out there and into the elements and enjoying nature and meditating. The second thing that I want to bring up is that we need to work on having good relationships with our partners and friends and our own children. You know, we would like to show our children what it is like to live in a good relationship with good boundaries in place, where we are not someone's doormat, we are not overpowering someone, we are partnering with them, and what that looks like, and make time to model and do what friends do. You know, ask for help. You know, model when your friends are sick. You know, bring that meal over to them when they have had you know, some sickness in their family. At the moment, it's coming into winter, so you know, some chicken and corn soup would be nice. And I'm having a cuppa. And this is also for you, you know, volunteer in an organisation that you're passionate about or something, or, you know, being kind to yourself. This is all modelling and reflecting on who you are as a parent living with a facial difference, a facial disfigurement. Because if you're not right, then everyone else, you know, if you're the person that needs to be the head of the family or the strong one and you're not right, then it flows down, it trickles down. Remember that it's okay not to be okay. And also this week, because this each month we do a different relaxation technique or something like that to learn from. Like the first, in a few months ago, it was the box breathing, 4 in, through your nose, really. This is, pardon me, through your nose, in, hold for 4 counts, exhale through your nose and hold for 4 counts. This resets your brain, this helps your left and right to talk to each other and calms the farm. And so with this one, this is called restoring the pituitary gland or the pituitary release. This exercise can help regulate your brain. It can help reduce stress and pain. And I got this from Cheryl Townsley, who shared this, and she's a naturopath and she's a life coach. You can YouTube her because she's got oodles of things. This is where I got it from. And this is called the pituitary release. And in the middle of your head, just pretend this is this is your brain, right? And in between, in here, in that bit here, is it goes right around, and I can't remember what it's called. It's something sinus, I think. And sometimes this gets blocked up, and so this will release it. And I don't know about you, but for me, it just makes me feel nice all over. It just gives my whole body a release. So what you do is you've got your 3 fingers, and you place the middle finger in between your nose or your eyebrows, and you put 1 finger on either side of your eyebrows. So and then you need to pull up, okay, but not yet, because you got to find at the back of your head. I don't know whether or not you can see it. Sorry, I've got lots of hair, but at the back of your head, there's a notch. There's a notch just at the back of your skull, where your skull meets your neck, or your neck meets your skull. There's a little dip or a notch or a hole there. And so you need to put fingers like that at the back of that, where that is. Can you see that? I can't see because I can't see what I'm doing because I'm blind on that side. So just there. So it should look just like this. I look really well, really good, but it works, right? So what we do is we breathe in, and we bring our arms up as in we're shooting to the stars, okay? So we breathe in, pushing up and squeezing upwards towards the sky, and then breathing out and release them. Can you see what I'm doing? Except I need to put it this way. I'm getting it messed up. And so I'm doing it again. Breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. And then you should just feel release. And it's like liquid love coming all over your body. That's what I call it, liquid love. And so that is the pituitary release. So we'll practice that over the next few weeks, and hopefully I'll get better at, for you guys that may listen to this podcast later, hopefully I'll get better at explaining it so you don't actually have to see it. Oh dear. So practice affects many things, our hormones, our blood sugar, digestion, etc. So as you do this, this exercise, you need to assess what part of your body, might feel sad, feel uptight. Your shoulders might feel tight, or your tummy might feel tight, and then you do the exercise. Three or four times, and then you feel relax, and then you can reassess. So you assess what's wrong in your body, and then you do the pituitary release exercise a few times, 3 to 4 times, or between 2 to 4 times, and then you reassess what it feels like afterwards. Thanks for joining me. Next week, we will be talking about parenting and parenting a child living with a facial disfigurement, as opposed to this week, which is you, the parent, having the facial disfigurement and parenting. Thank you very much for listening. Hopefully this has helped you, and I'm going to do this today. I'm not all over the shop, but I'm so relaxed. I'm not organised. I am now. See you next week. Same time, same channel next week.
By golly gosh, it's the end of Karibu Anawim's 15 Minutes at Dr. Zaley's Desk, and that's a wrap for this episode. Thanks for tuning in. Please remember that all information given during this episode is for general application only. If you have any specific medical issues, as always, consult with your medical practitioner. Like, subscribe and share on whatever platform you find us on. For more information, please connect with Karibu Anawim on our website at karibuanawim.com or email us at inquiries@karibuanawim.com.